Hi everyone for tuning in to this tutorial on the Hmong purple hat, or as we biết your Hmong who walu Phuam Ntxoom Suab, the most common hat that's been seen worn around by everyone that I'm aware of. If I'm wrong, please forgive me. I hope this helps out those of you that crochets and that are really excited and looking forward to making this hat. It's really simple, easy, it's not hard to do. Front view, here's the back view. Beautiful, beautiful, see? Sorry, just trying to add some humor for y'all. And then here's that view if y'all want to see that. Not too bad. So get ready you guys, because at the end of the video you will master this project and be able to make your own. However, if you are new to crochet and need to learn how to, this tutorial is not for that. It's just a tutorial to make this hat. So please go and, you know, kind of teach yourself or find someone to help you before you attempt this project. But if you need any help, I mean, feel free to email me, message me, whatever, you know, a way to connect with me. There's the bat. Alright, let's get started. For the crochet hook, you need a size H, the 5mm hook. And you would, this is optional. I would prefer this because this is how I do it, but if you choose to crochet everything, that's fine. You would also need a set of the knitting needles. I'm using US size 10, the 6mm. I think Takumi is just probably the brand. And you need the color yarn you need, of course, whatever you want, but since our hats are normally or typically purple, I'm using a purple, so you would need that and the black and white. And just keep measuring tape in hand. I'm not going to count stitches. I'm going to measure them by inches, just so it'll be easier and a quicker tutorial for everyone. Okay, so I am using a size 4 soft worsted yarn for the purple. You want to get a yarn that it's, I don't know, soft enough and comfortable enough for anyone to wear, not just children or infants. I like this one because it's stretchy and it gives it a very comfortable feel. So to start off, put your knitting needles to the side. We'll go back to that when we do the black and white strip. Oh yeah, and I forgot, you are going to need a base too. Like, what I mean by a base is kind of like a head model or like a object where you're going to slip your hat on, so you can attach the black and white strip. So what I'm using, it's kind of homemade and not anything too fancy, but let me see if I can show you guys. It's just a foam ball, and this is what I use for the infant size hats. I mean, you could use anything like a toy ball or anything, I don't know if that would work, but this is what I use. Okay, so we're going to start off by doing the magic circle. If you are not aware how to do that, please go and research it and learn it or something. Again, this is just a tutorial to make the hat, not to teach you how to crochet. I mean, if you need that, let me know. I can try and do videos for those too. Pretty simple. So after you do your magic circle, you're going to do 8 half double crochet stitches in the first round, and this practically counts as your first round if you're doing the magic circle. Or I keep calling it the magic circle, but it's somewhere along that line. Okay, so I have 8. So if you count it, it should be 8 or 9, since that first knot you did would have counted as 1 stitch also. Okay, so now I'm going to tighten this loop right here, because this is actually your first round, like I said earlier. So once you tighten it, you'll see how it's your first row and a hat. And then what I have to do now is we're going to end row 1 and start row 2. So just for this hat, this is what I do. I don't do this for the other hats if I mentioned it earlier. I'm going to use this as my marker. So I'm going to fold it forward. And what I'm going to do is, this is just helping me that I ended the round here. I'm going to continue to do my half double crochet, which is the first stitch of row 2, just in this section right here. And the reason I do this is because on this particular hat, I don't want that line at the back side of the hat. I'll explain that more when we finish the purple section. So round 1, there was like 8 half double. So in round 2, you're going to start your increases. So I just did my first stitch in round 2, and I'm going to increase in my next stitch. Which that's just 2 stitch in one in this hole right here. So for round 2, you're going to do the pattern of 1 increase, 1 increase, all the way until you finish row 2. Okay, so I'm ending my row 2 right here because I'm back to where my beginning starts. Again, you keep markers so you'll know when to end and when to start. So I'm just kind of using my estimate, which this is pretty clear that it's the beginning and end of each row. So now I'm starting row 3. Row 3, I'm going to do 1 stitch, and then I'm sorry, not 1 stitch, 2 stitches. That's 1, 2, and then the third stitch you're going to do an increase, and that's a pattern you're going to do for round 2. You're going to do 2 stitches, increase, and then back to 2, and then increase until the end of row 2. Okay, I'm back to the beginning or end, done with row 3. So you pretty much get the idea of what I'm doing. First row, I did not do increases. The second row, I increased. I did 1 and then increase. Third row, I did 2 and then increase. So you're going to, each row that you do, you're going to do increases, and the number of stitches, the pattern you're going to do is just what I did, since I went 0, 1, 2, and then the next one would be 3, which is 3 stitches and then increase that pattern until you end row 4. Row 5 would be 4 stitches and then increase. So you're going to keep doing that until you hit let me see, about 4 inches. If you're a little bit, like, you're 4.5, it's fine too. You know, but you want to hit the 4-inch mark. Oh, and I'm so sorry. This tutorial is for an infant size hat. And, let me see, if you want to do an adult or anything, just, let me know. But yeah, it's just an, infant, just so you guys get an idea of how I do it. Okay, I will meet you back at, when I get a 4 inches. Okay, so, now we are going to do the, I think what they call a God swatch. I don't really use these terms a lot, so my bad if it's wrong. I said 4 or 4.5, but this one actually did 5. I don't know, kind of got sidetracked, just kept going. So 5 will still be okay for a newborn. If you do 4 or 4.5, 4.5 is still fine too, but if you do 4, I mean, I forgot to tell you guys this earlier, but just make sure your yarn is stretchy enough. If you have a really stiff yarn and doesn't stretch well, you might want to make it slightly bigger. Maybe 5 for infant. Okay. So, after this, there will be no more increasing because you got it big enough to where it will, you've done all the increase where it's required to make a hat fit an infant size head, or I would say newborn. This is typically what I use for a newborn size hat. So I think we're on whatever row you're on. From this point forward, you will not be doing any increases. You are going to continue to do half double crochet stitches in all of the next following rows until you actually finish the purple section of this hat. So this is just what I'm going to do until I get to about almost the end. I want to make this hat about like 5 inches long. So when you get to about 4, you can stop your rounds. And I'll meet you there to show you what you do next. Okay, so we're at the 4-inch mark for the height. Okay, so remember I'm at the beginning right here. There you go, our marker's right here. And I'm just kind of estimating, which is fine. So what I was trying to tell you guys from doing this about that line in the back from how I did the hat, there's no ending line for each row. So it gives it this pretty non-stop look, as I call it. Okay, so from this point, I'm a little bit past the beginning, but from this point back here, we're still going to do the half double crochet and each stitch in each hole. You see, and when we get here, we're going to do something slightly different. This is where I've seen where a lot of folks miss or didn't do when they attempted to do this hat. So here's the small trick, or my small trick. Hat. Okay. Let's do. Okay, so I have 2 more stitches. I'm at my beginning. So I'm here until I get to the 5-inch mark, which is probably just going to be another row after this, then we should be good. instead of continuing another half double here till we end, you're just gonna do a slip stitch, okay? You could do it here, but I kind of do it to the row above that. I don't know, just something I do, or rather do, and just kind of tighten it there. So it gives you that arch in the front. And then your next, or the next stitch I'm gonna go to is right here. I'm going to do a single crochet stitch. And then from there, continue my half double crochet till I hit back to this area, or the beginning of this row. Oh, and you can hold the yarn however you want. You know, I like to use my finger as a hook right here. I don't know, it's a habit. It's just easier and faster for me. Or helps me go faster. There you go. Here, adding some humor to you. Cô chú bác hai mấy cái kinh đó, chị nhớ nên tao tao lò làm lâu à. And if cô hai chỉnh cho lò thao giật gì ó. Yeah, I think this is the last row. Okay. So I'm just going to go back on that same hole and then just do a slip stitch again. It doesn't even matter if this hole is like bigger than the rest because you're going to cover it with a black and white strip anyway, so it's not a big deal. Okay. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. Let's measure it. Okay. That's about 5. This is good for infant. Remember, infant size. Where's my scissor? Don't cut this too short. I would cut about this length. I don't know, just a good amount. And then you're gonna pull it up right here. Because what I like to do is, when I'm done with all the detailing and all the other pieces, when I end this, I want to do a few rounds here to tighten this and to pull this up a little bit. So imagine all my strings are here. Let me find my base, wherever it went. Here you go. Well, I guess it's not really a good example right now, but since I didn't tighten this, but you get an idea. Remember, stretchy yarn, you're good at 5. If not stretchy, make your height of the hat longer. Okay, now we're going to continue with the black and white strip. Okay, now we're going to move on to the black and white strip. We are going to start by casting off. And you want 4 of these loops here. If you do a bigger size hat other than the newborn hat, you want to have 5. But since we are doing an infant size, we're only doing 4. And you can crochet this portion too. It's just that I prefer knitting because in my opinion, or I just like the knit strip better than the crochet for this project. So I got 4, so grab your little stick and you're going to start knitting. And just remember not to pull too tight. So you got 4. And then now you want to go and add the black yarn. So I'm just gonna lay here, or I mean, you're gonna purl now. You're gonna purl the black yarn in. So start up here. Oops. Uh-oh, hold on. Okay, and I'm still a beginner at this, if I haven't mentioned. So yes, that's why I struggle a bit right here too. There's 2, 3, and then there's 4. So now you got your black on. And don't worry about this end right here. You can always go back and tie it. It will, once you do more rows, it will kind of keep it in place and it won't come off. Okay, so now you're going to flip it back and you're going to knit. Ugh, sorry, hold on. You always want to keep it up here. It's just easier to do. It's just, I have issues, I know. Okay, see, this is big because of the beginning loop, so just kind of pull it down. And there you go, black and white right there. So when you turn it back around purl, this time you're going to do it to the white yarn. But when you purl, you always want to make sure, well, I don't know for other projects, but for this particular one we're doing, you always want to make sure that each color, when you purl, you want to make sure the one you're working on is on the bottom and the one you're not purling is on the top. The reason why for this one is because we want the white to be hidden under the black when I guess you turn it to the side you want it on. So if you're looking from the side from the strip, you would see white here and then black where it's, you know, supposed to be, I guess. And this is pretty much what you would do for the strip only. You just knit and purl until you get to the desired length, and then you just bind off. So for infants, usually I do about 35" in length for this strip. But again, you know, just if you can stop and measure if you want. If you want it a little bit longer, you can do that. It's up to you. So I will meet you back when I get to my desired length. Okay, so I reached my desired length, 35 inches. I'm not stretching it, I'm just keeping it as how it is and I'm measuring to 35. So it's about 35. Okay, so I'm going to bind off now, which is what they call in knitting terms when you're ending. So where is, okay. And I always struggle right here, so I'm sorry if you cannot view this, but you gotta put your needle through here and pull it over that one. Usually I just do this for the last one. And there you go! We're done with this strip. Cut both of them off. And you can just pull your white string out. And I usually just, what you can do is take your knitting needle or your crochet needle and just kind of pull the string through these yarn here and then tie a knot. Same thing with the beginning end. Or I think they're in a good spot already, so I'm just going to tie a knot in this end. Don't tie it too tight because you need to see how it curls, and when you sew it on you can still open it up. Okay, so going on back to the purple hat. Now we're going to attach this. Oh, sorry. We're going to attach the strip onto the hat. So from looking at the real Hmong hat itself, I don't attach this string like all the way at the edge down here. If you ever looked at a picture of my crochet hats, you will see that it's not all the way down here. But if you want to, you know, it's up to you. I usually do it right above the last row that I crochet on. I think that's a good spot to do it on. It's legit. So you want to find like the center and line it up with your hat. You can stretch it out a little bit. I mean, if you don't stretch it out, it's going to be loose when you stitch it on. So, I mean, don't overstretch it, just help it out a little bit. Just kind of put it where you want to attach it on the purple or the base. So, I would say this is an okay spot. And then when you get to the back where you decide that that's where you want it, just kind of loop it under that outer portion that you first put in the back. Whatever you want to call it. And then you see how I tied the knot right here? You can cut it shorter. I don't do it too short. You can hide it under here, or you can just cut it a little bit shorter and hide it down here, and then once you sew it, it's good to go. Okay. And this is where I want it to be. Now see? Good? Okay. Meet you back in a sec. So, I'm fixing, or I'm trying to end this front part right here. And remember how I have my marker up here, my string that kind of reminds me where to start each row and where to end? I just pulled it underneath the hat and just did a knot down here. That's just pretty much what you do to finish it off. And so I'm ending this hat at the last row, and this is the center where we want that arch. So I just stuck the yarn back in that same hole where we were kind of looping the slip stitch in. What I'm doing is I'm just going to do that like, I don't know, 2 times. I did the first one already, so this is actually the second one I'm going to do. Tiny little bit. It kind of helps give you a more beautiful, a better arch. And that's it. And then once you knot it, there you go. Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, so now that I have everything knotted and good to go for the purple section, I'm going to attach my black and white strip. So get your crochet needle. I mean, it comes in silver, blue, whatever color you see at the store. But I like this one because it's easy to work with. So I don't know what size this is, I'm sorry. I usually start from the back, go under the hat, and just kind of get it through to a part that's a black section. Because I'm sewing with a black thread. I mean, if you're doing white, then yeah, go for it, a white section. But I do black because the base color is a dark color. So I don't know, I just feel like it blends better. Dark on dark versus light and dark. Just want to leave a little bit out for ending your work at the end when you're finished attaching this. So it doesn't matter how you do it, which way you start, which way you end. The point is all you have to do is attach the black onto the purple. So I usually go around this way and then wrap around back here and then go that way. But I guess the trick is when you attach this, just me, my preference, I don't like to show my stitches on the underside. I want that underside to have a clean look. So I don't, when I'm attaching this, I don't really, I just go, I loop onto a piece of the yarn that you won't see on the back side, if that makes sense right now. But I will show you in the end how it looks. And if I made you one before, you definitely know what I'm talking about. So I'm just kind of helping this strip right here kind of open up. And this is pretty much what you do. You just attach a string, and if, you know, I don't know what length you would cut this in, but I will suggest a good amount. And if you do run out and you need more, just start a new string and attach it on the underside. It's not a big deal. It will still look great. I will meet you at the end when I'm finished attaching this strip. Okay, so I am finally done attaching the strip on. Remember, you go 2 rounds of the strip. I didn't state that earlier, but yeah, when you attach it, however you did it, I went the rounds that I specified earlier, and then I went back and did the other side. So there's one stitch, I stitch on this side, and I stitch it on this side too. So here's the front. Oh, sorry, here's the front. Here's the back. If you want your little tips down here longer, you know, just make it longer, of course. Do more stitches, more rows. Oh no, why is this? Okay, there we go. I didn't put on the hat credit. I usually have this on a stick, but since I'm doing a tutorial for you guys, I'm sorry, it's a headless creature I have. Yep, and that's it, unless you plan to put on some flowers, some beads, bells, whatever you want to add on. And also what I meant by a clean look. Put this off for you guys. What I was telling you guys when how to attach this. This is what I meant. I wanted a clean look because I didn't want the stitches to show on this side. I wanted this side to look very, I don't know, neat and pretty also, even though it's not exposed to anyone because you're wearing it, it's getting covered. But just knowing that you have a legit hat, you know, it's a good feeling, I guess. Okay, anyways, that is it. I hope that was easy enough. Again, this is just a tutorial about how this hat is made, not to teach you how to crochet. Big thanks to Mozemoua photography for taping this. If it was not for her, you guys would not get this tutorial. And the awesome Taylor Vang for letting me, or actually just allowing me to use her beautiful Tassie song for this video, so you guys won't get so bored and fall asleep. Alright, thank you so much for tuning in and for the support. Translation, ocho done tanto for, you know, sa learn how to ulakamona highly high see y'all. Okay. Y'all have a wonderful and blessed day. Alright. Good luck. Share what you create. Or if you don't have to, but you know, it'd be nice. Have a good day, y'all.